define abortion rights in the Michigan Constitution. But we all have more work to do. We are in the district that will decide the control of the House of Representatives, in the state that will decide control of the Senate, and the state that will decide the presidency. No pressure. And in 2 days' time, you better believe it will be students here on campus who propel us to victory up and down the ballot. We need you to vote like your future depends on it, because quite simply, it does. Spartans will decide for the future where the decision to start your family is. Is it our choice, or is it Donald Trump's choice, or is it my opponent Tom Barrett's choice? Spartans will vote for a future free from gun violence. Spartans will vote for a future where you can be who you are and love who you love. Spartans will vote for a future where it's more affordable to live the American dream, to buy a home, to raise a family here in America. And Spartans will vote for a future where Vice President Harris becomes President Harris. This future only happens if we vote. But voting is not enough. Bring your friends to the polls. Bring your roommates. Call your grandma. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you. Because participating in our democracy is patriotic. Doing the work to build a better future is patriotic. I am so proud to be a Spartan and to see so many Spartans ready to vote here on campus in East Lansing. Go green. Go vote. Let's go win.
Some people talk about you like they know all about you. When you get down, they doubt you. And when you dip it on the scene, yeah, they talk about it. Cause they can't tip on the scene what you talk about it. Talk about it. When you get elevated, they love it or they hate it. You dance up on them haters. You getting funky on the scene while they jumping around you. They trying to take all of your dreams, but you can't allow it. Cause baby, whether you're high or low, or whether you're high or low, you got to chip on the tightrope. Chip on the tightrope. Baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to chip on the tightrope. Now let me see you do the tightrope. And I'm still dipping on it. See, I'm not walking on it or trying to run around it. This ain't no acrobatics. You either follow or you lead. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'll keep on blaming the machine. Yeah, I'm talking about it. Talking about it. I can't complain about it. I gotta keep my balance and just keep dancing on it. We getting funky on the scene and you know about it. Like a star on the screen. Watch me tip all on it. Now, baby, whether I'm high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, you got to tip on the tightrope. Yeah, tip on the tightrope. Baby, whether you're high or low, baby, whether you're high or low, tip on the tightrope. Baby, let me see your tightrope. And I'm still dipping on it. I tip on alligators and little rattlesnakers, but I'm a another flavor, something like a Terminator. Ain't no equivocating. I fight for what I believe. Why you talking about it? Just talking about it. Some calling me a sinner, some calling me a winner. I'm calling you to dinner, and you know exactly what I mean. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You can rock or you can leave. Watch me tip without you. No, no, no. Whether am I alone? Whether am I alone? I got to go on a tightrope. Baby, baby, whether am I alone? I got to tip on the tightrope. No, baby, tip on the tightrope. You can't get too high. You can't get too high. I said you can't get too low. We can't get too low. 'Cause you get too high. You can't get too high. No, you surely be low. No, you surely be low. 1, 2, 3, now. Yeah. Yeah. Now shut up. Yeah. Yeah. Now put some voodoo on it. Ladies and gentlemen, the funkiest horn section in Metropolis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh! We call that classy brass. I gotta keep my
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
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 Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Well, I'm gone. Can I kick it? To all the people who can quest like a tribe does. Before this, did you really know what I was? Comprehend to the track force, why? Cause getting mentions on the tip of the vibe buzz. Rock and roll to the beat of the funk fuzz. Wipe your feet really good on the rhythm rug. If you feel the urge to freak, do the jitterbug. Come and spread your arms if you really need a hug. Afrocentric living is a big shrug. A life filled with, that's what I love. A lower plateau is what we're above. If you diss us, we won't even think of. We'll nipper the dog and give a big shove. This rhythm really fits like a snug glove. Like a box of positives, it's a plus love. As the trial flies high like a dove. Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Well, I'm born. Born. Can I kick it? To my tribe that flows in layers. Right now, Fife is a point sayer. At times, I'm a studio conveyor. Mr. Dinkins, would you please be my mayor? You'll be doing us a really big favor. Boy, this track really has a lot of flavor. When it comes to rhythms, Quest is your savior. Follow us for the funky behavior. Make a note on the rhythm we gave you. Feel free, drop your pants, check your hair. Do you like the garments that we wear? I instruct you to be the obeyer. A rhythm recipe that you'll savor. Doesn't matter if you're minor or major. Yes, the tribe of the game with a player. As you inhale like a breath of fresh air.
you. Just don't be afraid to leave. Health insurance with our flying, FDA big bank is buying, fake computer crashes, dying, cloning, well they're multiplying. Fashion shoots with Beckett Hansen, Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson. You're all bitch, run to your mansions, come around, we'll kick your asses.
People dream high in the quiet of the night. You know that I caught it. Bad boy, shiny toy with a price. You know that I bought it. Killing me slow out the window. I'm always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. What doesn't kill me makes me want you more. And it's blue, the shape of your body is blue. The feeling I got in it, it's cool, that's what I tell her, no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but it's summer with you. Hang your head low in the glow of the vending machine, I'm not dying. We say that we'll just screw it up in these trying times, we're not trying. So cut the headlights, summer's a night. I'm always waiting for you just to cut to the moon. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. And if I bleed, you'll be the last to know. Oh, it's blue, the shape of your body is blue. The feeling I got in it, it's cool, that's what I tell her, no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but summer with you. I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I cried like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't wanna keep secrets just to keep you. And I snuck in through the garden gate every night that summer just to steal my fate. And I scream for whatever it's worth. I love you.
Please welcome Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist.
Now if you feel that you can't go on because all of your hope is gone and your life is filled with much confusion. What's up, MSU? So, I am so proud to stand here with you because this university will make sure that Kamala Harris becomes the next president. I wanna try a little something. Everybody knows that MSU stands for Michigan State University. But I think that for the next 2 days, MSU should mean Michigan stand up. So I thought we'd try a new little chant just to give us some energy before we hear from our next president. Michigan stand up. 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 That sounds pretty good, right? We are standing up for our values. We are standing up for reproductive freedom. We are standing up for freedom against gun violence. We are Kamala Harris
in Michigan, me and perhaps, she's soon to be the most famous Michigan State alum. You might have heard of her, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. We have shown not just Michiganders, but the nation that democratic governance we're going to win at every level in Michigan because you're going to turn out and make sure everyone who loves you turns out to vote. Raise your hand and make some noise if you already voted early. Well, we are going to make history because I'm calling it. This is going to be the most voters who've ever voted in a presidential election are voting this year in Michigan. So y'all, in order to make that happen, we got a lot more work to do. Everybody knows 50 people you can talk to who are not going to vote unless they hear from you. So are you committed to making sure that they vote by Tuesday? If you're committed, I want to hear you say, Michigan, stand up. Michigan, stand up. Michigan, stand up. Thank you for standing tall for Michigan MSU. Let's do it.
Please welcome United States Representative Alyssa Slotkin.
Put your hands to the sky. This goes out to the women working hard 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. For service and devotion, you would think that I would deserve a fair promotion.
Hello, East Lansing and Michigan State University. I'm Alyssa Slotkin. I have the honor of being the Congresswoman for MSU. So, literally, now, as I run to be the U.S. Senator or one of the 2 U.S. Senators for the state of Michigan, it all began in East Lansing at Michigan State University with the students who came out. Now I know we're at a rally. And they've been playing Taylor Swift, the energy is intense here. The energy is intense. The Vice President is ready to come out. She's working her way up here. But I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, young people in the state of Michigan have the ability to completely change the outcome of elections. You need to come in. You need to come into your power. And I know something about how important MSU is because I'm running against a guy, his name is Mike Rogers. He used to be, we don't boo, we don't need to boo, we don't need to boo, we need to beat him. We need to beat him. That's what we do. So, when Mike Rogers, funny fact, when Mike Rogers was running for this seat, this exact seat in 2000, he was the closest race in the country. He won by just over 100 votes, literally out of his whole congressional district. And how did he do that? He passed a law, him and his friends passed a law in the Michigan Senate that specifically targeted college students, specifically said that college students could not vote absentee in their first election. That was specifically designed to disenfranchise Michigan State students so they couldn't vote on campus, they couldn't vote absentee, and he won that election by a slim margin. So it will be really, really fun in 2 days when Michigan State University helps beat him in the Senate. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. But look, I want to say something specifically to the students. Obviously, if you're here, you're politically engaged, you're informed. Many of you have already voted. You know you have friends who are not that way. You know you have friends who you'll have to drag to the polls on Tuesday where you can register same day. Last election, when I won in 2022 here, we had lines outside the student union for like 3 hours. I spent almost $10,000 buying pizza. I was out there all night till 11 o'clock. And we need you to do the same thing up and down the ticket. Yes, for the vice president. Yes, in my Senate race. But I want to say specifically, you heard him tonight. We cannot retain and get back the House of Representatives without Curtis Hertel, and your votes matter the most for his seat. The most. So please drag people. Drag them. However you need to do it, right? Drag them there. Now, I want to say also to the students, I am sorry that you have grown up in an era of politics as toxic and as polarized and as angry as this. That's not the way most of us were raised, right? We're not the way we were raised. So I'm sorry that you grew up in this. But your generation has shown over and over again that you have taken this upbringing and said you're not going to sit on the sidelines and let this crap happen in your country. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So thank you for not turning away from your country in this moment, this what I think of as a decade of political instability. Thank you for turning on, motivating, organizing, and doing the work. Now, I went back in time and I looked at the first big event I had for my campaign when I started running for Senate. You know what date it was? February 13th, 2023. I went from an event in Oakland County. I started driving home to my farm in Holly, and by the time I was turning down my road, I got the alert that we were having an active shooter event at MSU. I just kept on driving, spent the evening with the East Lansing police, and woke up the next morning. I don't remember what I said at the press conference, but let me say this to all the MSU students and to all the parents who are watching. We cannot elect people who turn away from the #1 killer of children in America. We will not accept people who tell us we can't do anything about it. We can't even try. In fact, trying is some sort of violation of our desires as politicians. We need people who look it dead in the face and say that just like 20 years ago, we didn't wear seatbelts and we didn't use car seats, and we think now that's crazy. 20 years from now, they're going to look back on this time period and they're saying we let our kids get murdered in their schools and we did nothing about it. And this generation, along with leaders of principle, are going to break that cycle. So don't fall for the people who are too scared to look that in the face. And it is MSU students who taught me that you all know more about active shooter drills and the life of that whole life that goes on in schools than the people who are running the schools. You have to help us and push us and hold us accountable. I hope you do the same thing to me as a senator. Now, last thing, because we got to get to the main event here. I want to say something specifically. I'm a former CIA officer. I'm a Pentagon official. I did 3 tours in Iraq alongside the military. And before I ran for office, I was totally nonpartisan. I was not political. I want you to tell you that each and every one of you are here because you love your country and you want it to be better. You should own that patriotism and not give an inch to the pretenders on the other side who wrap themselves in the flag and spit on the values that it represents. Not an inch. If you wrap yourself in the flag and spit on the values it represents, you are not a patriot. You are a pretender. So, thank you. We are going to get through this period of our history, right? I think it's about a decade. It's not the only time we've been in this tough situation as a country. We will get through it with two things: engaged citizens and principled leaders. By being here, by coming out, you are engaged citizens, and I will do everything in my power to be the principled leader that you deserve. So thank you, Michigan State.
Let me see them signs. What's up, y'all?
This is how we do it.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
This is how we do it.
That's what I like to hear. Hey, y'all ready to see your vice president, your future president of the United States? Let's make some noise.
This is how we do it.
It's Friday night, and I feel all right. Come on, the party's here on the east side. What's up to East Lansing? What's up, Michigan State? Go Green! I see y'all out there. Take money out the baby. Oh, in my hood tonight. Come on. Oh, you know what that means? She's on her way out here.
So tip up your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say,
hey, come on, this is how we do it. This is how we do it.
To all my neighbors, you got much flavor. This is how we do it. Let's flip the crack in the old school bag. This is how we do it.
Come on, y'all. Where them signs at? Let us see them signs. What them signs in there?
Yeah, Spider-Man and freezing full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready.
Oh, what's up,
I'm ready,
ladies?
Slick. Are you?
Oh yeah, take it down. Girl, I must warn you, I sense something strange in my mind.
Oh, you know this song. Come on, y'all. Sing it with me. Come on.
Let's cure it cause we're running out of time. So relationships, they seem
From the start. Hey, hey, hey.
It's time so when love is not together.
From the heart. Can y'all sing it with me? Sing it with me, y'all. Come on, come on, come on.
It's driving me out of my mind.
Hey.
That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head.
Ha.
Listen,
She what? Hey. Here's me, your boy, your man, DJ Romeo Million. I'm here to one or twos.
never trust a big button smile.
That girl is.
If I were you, I'd take precaution before I step to meet my girl.
I see you ladies out there.
Cause in some motion, you think she's the best thing in the world. She's so fine, should drive you right out of your mind. Steal your heart when you're blind. Beware, she's scheming. She'll make you think you're dreaming. You fall in love and you'll be screaming. Demon poison, deadly, moving and slow. Looking for a mellow fellow like to go get paid. Late, so better lay low. The low pro hoe should be cut like an afro. So what you saying, huh? She's winning you, but I know she's a loser. How did you know? Me and the crew used to do her.
Oh, what's up, ladies? Can I get my ladies to make some noise in here? What's up, ladies? This is a woman's world right here. Hey, hey,
baby. I do it naturally. I'm every woman. It's all in me. I can read the thoughts right now. Every moment you say. I can cast a spell, secrets you can't tell. Mix a special groove with fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, then instantly I will appear.
Come on.
I'm every woman.
I hear you, ladies.
It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. I can set your needs like rain unto the seas. I can make a rhyme of confusion in your mind. And when it comes down to some good old fashioned love, I got it, I got it, I got it, got it, baby. I'm every woman. It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, I do it naturally. Right now, every information says. Cause I'm the one. Just ask me. It shall be done. And don't bother to compare. I've got
Where you at, ladies? Come on. I can't hear you. Hey.
They said we were dead,
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
that our best days were behind us, that living here is like
Living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We looked out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy, he don't know anything about that. We are a city of winners, of up-and-comers, of builders, the Motor City. Bigger and better. Here, we believe in freedom. We don't bow down to nobody, and we never will. And so what Donald Trump doesn't understand, or care to learn, is that when he said,
our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president,
that he should be so goddamn lucky.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Trump ain't shit.
Did you know that Trump wanted the military to actually shoot Black Lives Matter protesters? I mean, Trump is not shit.
He let people die during COVID and then told us to drink bleach.
He tried to kill the stimulus bill and couldn't, so he delayed the money just so he could put his name on the check.
Trump ain't shit.
He used the death penalty to execute black men like Brandon Bernard.
He f***ed Obama's economy, lost thousands of black jobs. He started inflation and gave his billionaire buddies a tax cut.
America,
Trump ain't shit.
Don't vote for that man. He's nothing but
Vote Kamala Harris for president.
of 100 Republicans who worked in national security for Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and for President Trump, now endorsing Harris for president.
She came up as a prosecutor, an attorney general, into the Senate. She has the kind of character that's going to be necessary in the presidency.
Vice President Harris is standing in the breach at a critical moment in our nation's history. We have a shared commitment as Americans to do what's right for this country. This year, I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former generals, secretaries of defense, secretaries of the Army, Navy, and Air Force, CIA directors, and National Security Council leaders under Democratic and Republican presidents, Republican members of Congress, and even former Trump administration officials agree there's only one candidate fit to lead our nation, and that's Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Please welcome Organizing Fellow from the Michigan One campaign, Cedric Huff.
Turn up the music, turn down the lights. I got a feeling I'm gonna be alright, okay. Alright, it's about damn time. Turn up the music, let's celebrate. I got a feeling I'm gonna be okay, okay.
Go green. That's what I'm talking about. How, East Lansing, how we doing tonight? Beautiful, beautiful. Well, my name is Cedric Dion Huff Jr. I'm a senior here at Michigan State University, and I'm an organizer. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm also the president of the Black Undergraduate Law Association up here. And as I said, I'm an organizing fellow for the Michigan One campaign. And over the last few months, I've been working hard to turn out every last vote on campus at MSU. This will be the first time I ever get the chance to vote in a presidential election, and I can't think. Y'all gotta let me talk now. You gotta let me talk now. This will be the first time I ever get the chance to vote in a presidential election, and I can't think of a more important race to cast my very first ballot. Look. Okay. Look, the choice in this election is very clear. On one side, we've got Kamala Harris. They told me y'all were a receptive crowd. I didn't expect y'all to be like this. I love it, though. I love it. Someone who has spent her entire life fighting for the people. She is running in this race to lower costs, protect our fundamental rights, and make life better for people like you and me. On the other... It's amazing. It's amazing. On the other hand, we have Donald Trump. Hey, y'all get loud with this one. Y'all get loud with this one. Yeah. On the other hand, we have Donald Trump, who is running to give himself as much power as he possibly can and enact his extreme Project 2025 agenda. As a student and a first-time voter, I'm looking for someone who will fight for me, my future, and everybody else's future in this room, and not just himself. Kamala Harris is that candidate. She will protect our She will protect our reproductive rights. She will bring costs down and give us a chance to buy a home and build our lives. She will forgive billions in student loan debt. She will She will continue the pursuit of justice that she's done for her entire career. If we do the work over these final 2 days, we can send Kamala Harris straight to the White House. Absolutely. Now, it doesn't just mean making a plan to vote. It means talking to your friends, rallying your classmates, knocking doors to your community, reaching out to family members, and making sure that East Lansing votes for Democrats up and down that ballot for this election. My friends, at this final moment, at this crossroads in America, it's time to chart a new way forward for our country. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor to introduce your Vice President and the next President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Chains up on myself, won't let my freedom rot in hell. Hey, I'ma keep on running, cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
Michigan! Can we hear it for Cedric? We're gonna do this. Hello, Michigan State! It is good to be in the house of my dear friend Magic Johnson. Go green! All right. East Lansing, are we ready to do this? Are we ready to vote? Are we ready to win? Oh, it's good to be back in Michigan and to be with so many incredible leaders. I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, and let's send her to the United States Senate. And Curtis Hurtel, and let's send him to the U.S. House of Representatives. And we are joined today by leaders of the Arab American community, which has deep and proud roots here in Michigan. And I want to say, this year has been difficult, given the scale of death and destruction in Gaza, and given the civilian casualties and displacement in Lebanon. It is devastating. And as president, I will do everything in my power to end the war in Gaza. To bring home the hostages, end the suffering in Gaza, ensure Israel is secure, and ensure the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, freedom, security, and self-determination. And we continue to work on a diplomatic resolution across the Israel-Lebanon border to protect civilians and provide lasting stability. And as president, I will work tirelessly toward a future with security and dignity for all people. So Michigan, 2 days to go. You ready? You ready? In one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime, and we have momentum. It is on our side. Can you feel it? And we have the momentum because our campaign is tapping into the ambitions, the aspirations, and the dreams of the American people. Because we are optimistic and excited about what we can do together. And because we know it is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next president of the United States. Now, the race is not yet over, and we need to finish strong. So for the next 2 days, we still have a lot of work to do, but here's the thing, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work is joyful work. And make no mistake, we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. And we will win, and we... And we will win, because here's what everyone here knows. When you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of politics driven by fear and division. We are done with that, and we are exhausted with it. And America is ready. America is ready for a fresh start, ready for a new way forward, where we see our fellow American not as an enemy, but as a neighbor. We are ready for a president who knows that the true measure of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. And Michigan, you know me, I am not afraid of tough fights, evidently. For decades as a prosecutor and the top law enforcement officer of the biggest state, I won fights against the big banks that ripped off homeowners. I won fights against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students. I won fights against predators who abused women, children, and seniors. I won fights. I won fights against the cartels that trafficked in guns, drugs, and human beings. And it is my pledge to you, if you give me the chance to fight on your behalf as president, there is nothing in the world that will stand in my way. I'm here for you. And I will get up every day to fight to make your life better, to bring down the cost of living, to ban corporate price gouging on groceries, to make housing and childcare more affordable. My plan will cut taxes for workers, for middle-class families and small businesses. Lower health care costs, including the cost of home care for seniors. Because, by the way, I believe health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And to those certain individuals who still want to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, and take us back to the days when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions, well, you all know what we say. We are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. Because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom, including the fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom nationwide, you know where I'm going. As President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. So, Michigan, I am here to ask for your vote. I am here to ask for your vote. And here is my pledge to you. As president, I pledge to seek common ground and common sense solutions to the challenges you face. I am not looking to score political points. I am looking to make progress. And I pledge to listen to those who will be impacted by the decisions I make. I pledge to listen to experts. And I pledge to listen to people who disagree with me. Because, you see, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. In fact, I'll give them a seat at the table because that's what strong leaders do. And I pledge to always put country above party and self, and to be a president for all Americans. All Americans. So that is my pledge to you, East Lansing. And let me then ask, who here has already voted? Thank you. All right, okay. Well, now I gotta ask you, please talk to your friends and family and neighbors and share your perspective on why this election is so important. Share your perspective on why, with the many, many other things you could be doing with your time right now, you took time out of your busy lives to be here. Let's connect with each other and let folks know and encourage them to make their voices heard. And for those of you who haven't voted yet, no judgment, no judgment. But please do take a moment and think about your plan for when and where you will vote. Election day is on Tuesday, November 5th. Polls are open here in Michigan from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And if you are not yet registered to vote, you can register and vote at your local clerk's office now through Election Day. It's a very big deal. That's a very big deal. So go to iwillvote.com for all the information you need, including when and where to vote and where to drop off your absentee ballot. But we need everyone to vote in Michigan. You will make the difference in this election. You will make the difference. You will make the difference. So I love you back. I love you back. So okay, so here's the thing. It all comes down to this. We are here together, this incredible mix of people from every background, every stage of life, under one roof together. And we are here together for many reasons, including because we love our country. We love our country. We love our country. And when you love something, you fight for it. Fight for it. And I do believe it is one of the highest forms of patriotism, the expression of the love we have for our country, to then fight for its ideals and to fight to realize the promise of America. That's what we are about. That's what we are about. And I have always believed in our nation's promise because I have lived it. So I grew up as a child of the civil rights movement. My parents would take me to the marches when I was in a stroller. And there were people there, and history has told us, there were people there from every walk of life, coming together to fight for freedom and for opportunity. You know, growing up, I saw how hard our mother worked to give her daughters the same chances our country gave her. And I was blessed to have family by blood and to have family by love, who instilled in me the values of community, compassion, and faith. I have spent my life fighting for people who have been hurt and counted out, but who never stopped believing that in our country, anything is possible. I have lived the promise of America, and I will tell you, today, I see the promise of America in everyone who is here, in all of you, in all of us. We are the promise of America. We are. We are the promise of America. And I see it in the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents who work hard every day for their children's future. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom. I see it in the men that support them. I see it in Republicans who have never voted for a Democrat before, but have put the Constitution of the United States above party. And I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are here and voting for the first time. I love Gen Z. And here's one of the things that I love about this generation, this incredible generation. You all are rightly impatient for change. I know that about you. And here's the thing, because you all have only known the climate crisis and are leading then the charge to protect our planet and our future. You who grew up with active shooter drills and are fighting to keep our schools safe. You who now know fewer rights than your mothers and grandmothers are standing up for freedom. None of these issues for you are theoretical. This is not political for you all. This is your lived experience, and I see you, and I see your power, and I am so proud of you. Can we hear it for our first-time voters? I'm telling you, this is why I know our future is bright. I'm just so optimistic about it. I'm so optimistic about it. So, all right, 2 days. We have 2 days to get this done. And nobody can sit on the sidelines. Let's spend the next 2 days so that when we look back, we have no regrets that we did everything we could. So let's knock on doors, let's text, let's call the voters, let's reach out to family, friends, classmates, neighbors, coworkers. And as we do, I have one request on top of everything else I've asked of you. Let's be true to what our campaign has been about from the very start, which is to be intentional about building community. Let's build community while we are doing this. Let's build community and be intentional about it. Let's be intentional about building coalitions, because we know, look, there's been so much about this last decade that it's just, but the thing is that the tenor of it has been to try and make people feel alone. To make people, and you know, when you make people feel alone, it's a way of trying to disempower people. To suggest to them you don't have people, to suggest to them you don't have community, which is not true. And that's why I say, let's be intentional about, in the face of a stranger, seeing a neighbor and understanding that our power to lift each other up is immense. And let us do it with the spirit of knowing the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And we are all in this together. We are all in this together. Because, you know, from the very start, our campaign has not been about being against something, it is about being for something. A fight for a future with freedom, opportunity, and dignity for all Americans. And so in these final hours, let us remember that there is power in knowing that we are together. And let us remember that your vote is your voice, and your voice is your power. And you are powerful, and you remember that. So today, Michigan, I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Won't let my freedom rot in hell. Hey, I'ma keep on running, cause the winner don't quit on themselves. deep blue. I'm telling these tears go and fall away, fall away. Oh, may the last one burn into flames.
You got it? Folks, Roland Martin here, Black Start Network. We are live in Michigan State University. Vice President Kamala Harris just finished her speech here. A raucous crowd here, jam-packed folks here. So right now she is working the road line, shaking hands, taking photos. Folks are excited. Let me tell you something right now, folks. I got here about 5:30. They started about 6:30. The line outside was absolutely massive. Everybody couldn't even get in. You had, again, several thousand people who were waiting outside. And so this, as she said in that speech, it is 2 days. They are making the closing argument. And I can tell you, I have been, seeing this vice president up close and personal, sitting across from her. I have never seen the vice president confidence at a higher level than I have witnessed over the last 72 hours. If you look at these rallies, if you look at the speeches, if you look at the interviews, look at the news conferences, you are seeing a candidate that has more confidence and more confident. How many times have you heard me say what you're facing is someone who thinks like a boxer? And so when you are a boxer, you want to reach your peak when it's time for the election. That's exactly what she has been doing. And so you can hear it in her tone. You can see it in the pep in her step. And so tomorrow, she's going to be in Pennsylvania. Focus in Pennsylvania. They're going to be, how you doing? Good seeing you. They're going to be, of course, hitting 3 cities tomorrow in Pennsylvania. It's going to be massive now. She's still over here. How you doing? Y'all good? I appreciate it. Appreciate it. So again, what you're going to be seeing, folks, what you're going to be seeing, of course, over the next 24 hours, you're going to see her going to all of these places in Pennsylvania. And so Pennsylvania is critical. The campaign feels very good about North Carolina, Georgia, and of course, want to close here strong in Michigan. You had, of course, tomorrow, Governor Tim Walz is going to be in Detroit for a rally tomorrow night. They're going to have multiple rallies across the country going on. And so this campaign has been sending people out all across the country having these various rallies. I'm talking about Jill Biden, President Obama, Michelle Obama. Joe Biden was in Pittsburgh. Tomorrow night also, while the vice president is going to be in going to be in Philadelphia with Lady Gaga and others. My man D Nice is going to be in Pittsburgh. They're going to be having a rally and a concert there as well. And so what you're seeing is the Harris for President campaign literally leaving everything on the field, pushing as many people out as possible when it comes to driving their message and getting the votes out. Right now, folks, it's not about campaign public policy. It's not about white papers. It's all about turnout right now. And they understand that. And so the massive amount of door knocking going on, some 700,000, 900,000 in Pennsylvania. How you doing? What's up, frat? And so earlier, I caught up with April with SCIU. 30 buses that went into Pennsylvania. Labor is aggressively on the ground as well. And so what you are seeing is a massive turnout. They've got more than 2,000 workers across the country, the Harris for President campaign. And so what they're pushing out as many people. So they're trying to go hard in Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia. That's when it comes out. You've already had more than 1 million African Americans vote in Georgia alone. And so in the last couple of days, Fulton County has been going crazy when it comes to voting. Now, Clayton County in Georgia, they've been lagging somewhat behind. And so that needs to happen. He's been pushing folks out really very aggressively over the next couple of days. And so early voting ends today in all of these different places. Now, remember, check your status. There are some states where they actually have on-site voter registration, same day voter registration. So if your state has that, you can still actually vote. Go to iwillvote.com. But I'm telling you, what we are seeing really is a massive amount of energy that is coming from this campaign. Donald Trump is having his rallies. He actually said at a rally today that he doesn't mind if somebody takes a shot and it fires through the press. Yeah, he literally said that. And so people need to understand exactly what is going on here. And so when you look at the polling data in these critical places, okay, you know, some polls have Trump up in Michigan, but other polls have her up. And so this is going to be a knockdown, drag out. Every vote counts. I remind people, 2020, Biden-Harris wins Wisconsin by 20,000 votes. Okay, the margin was a little higher here in Michigan. Georgia was 11,700. Arizona was 10,000. So we got to realize that. And so it looks like the vice president is almost at the end of the line there, taking photos and pictures with folks. And so that's what's going on here. So, folks, I'm telling you, this is going down to the wire. A massive number of early votes. Now, let me explain here in Michigan. During this rally, the vice president asked the question in this rally, how many of you have voted early? And a ton of hands went up. That's because the state law was changed here in Michigan. And so Michigan didn't used to have early voting. When Democrats took control of the state house and the state senate, the governor's mansion, they changed the voting laws in this state, and then they were able to actually vote early. And so that's why you're seeing the particular these numbers. And so let me explain to you why, when you look at all of these different analysts that are trying to compare 2020, 2016, the fact of the matter is, folks, you can't do that. Okay, COVID, totally different. Okay, so the vote, how we vote in 2020 is different than 2024. Second of all, the Dobbs decision, you can't factor in the impact of that decision on voting. We're seeing significant numbers of 18 to 29-year-old women voting in massive numbers. Young women of color, black women, other young women of color are voting in crazy numbers. And so all these people who are saying, oh, it's guaranteed Trump will win or she may win, you can't believe any of that. But I will say this here, looking at the polls, looking at these numbers, and looking at all of this, I would much rather be in a position, be in Vice President Kamala Harris' position than in Donald Trump's position. Of course, you had that poll that just came out that showed that Vice President Kamala Harris up 3 points in Iowa. Of course, the Trump people are trying to disavow that as often as they can. But folks, bottom line is this here. This is going to be an absolute tight race, and every vote is going to count. I hit 3 churches earlier today in Detroit, and one of the things that I said to them is you can look at the number of races that were decided by very few votes. And so I talk all the time about Sherry Beasley when she ran for Chief Justice, North Carolina Supreme Court, lost by 401 votes. You look at Nelson, we look at Mandela Barnes, Lieutenant Governor of Wisconsin, ran for United States Senate in Wisconsin. 50,000 fewer people voted in Milwaukee than 2020. He lost the race by 26,000 votes. And so we got to recognize votes matter. And in Virginia, a couple of election cycles ago, it was an actual tie in a state house race. They had to choose the winner by pulling a name out of a hat. And the person who they pulled, their party controlled the House of Delegates. A Republican name was pulled. That's how they control the House. Of course, in the last cycle last year, the Democrats took back the Virginia House, and that's how Don Scott became the Speaker of the House in Virginia. So, folks, understand your vote does indeed matter. Your vote will count. And so make it real. Don't sit on the couch. We can ill afford that. And I'm very clear and I've sat across from these two people. I have sat across from the table from Donald Trump. I've sat across the table from Vice President Kamala Harris. And I'm telling you, it's not even a contest. She is indeed the superior candidate, and Vice President Kamala Harris should be elevated to be the 47th president of these United States. Folks, that is it for us here from Michigan State University. We're about to pack this thing up, flying out early tomorrow. We're going to be in Philadelphia tomorrow. Look for us, several stops around Philly, where we're going to be broadcasting, visiting people, trying to get them encouraged to vote. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to be live from the massive rally in Philadelphia. It's a huge concert to close this thing out. And Vice President Kamala Harris making her closing argument, closing her campaign out in Philadelphia. And so we look forward to y'all watching. We're going to be there. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And so be sure to stick to watching the Black Star Network, because, again, you're not going to get the Black coverage anywhere else. And so we're going to have that for you. So do me a favor. Support the work that we do, y'all. I'm telling you, this stuff is not cheap. When you got to change a flight at the last second for 14 members, Deshaun, our driver, he's literally driving to Philadelphia as we speak. So these things are happening, hotel rooms, all that good stuff. So it costs. So please join our Bring the Funk fan club. Send your check and money order, P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 20037-0196. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And so, folks, again, support the work that we do. Download our Black Star Network app, Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. Oh, forgot one thing. Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be on the Win with Black Women call tonight. So y'all be sure to check that out as well. All right, folks, that is it. Roland Martin here, signing off from Michigan State University in East Lansing, Michigan. I will see you tomorrow from Philadelphia. Holla!
Of 100 Republicans who worked in national security for Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and for President Trump, now endorsing Harris for president.
She came up as a prosecutor, an attorney general, into the Senate. She has the kind of character that's going to be necessary in the presidency.
Vice President Harris is standing in the breach at a critical moment in our nation's history. We have a shared commitment as Americans to do what's right for this country. This year, I am proudly casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former generals, secretaries of defense, secretaries of the Army, Navy, and Air Force, CIA directors, and National Security Council leaders under Democratic and Republican presidents, Republican members of Congress, and even former Trump administration officials agree there's only one candidate fit to lead our nation, and that's Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
They said we were dead.
Detroit waving the white flag, the city filing for bankruptcy.
That our best days were behind us. That living here is like
living in hell.
But you know what we said? We said, F that. We rebuilt ourselves. We looked out for each other, got our hands dirty, and put in the hard work. And this guy, he don't know anything about that. We are a city of winners, of up-and-comers, of builders, the Motor City. Bigger and better. Here, we believe in freedom. We don't bow down to nobody, and we never will. And so what Donald Trump doesn't understand, or care to learn, is that when he said,
our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president,
that he should be so goddamn lucky.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
In this town, we've seen our share of hard times, heard our share of big promises.
Up to 13,000 jobs.
But empty promises don't build cities.
Plans never materialize.
We do, with grit, sweat, and cold beer. So when he talks,
former President Trump called Milwaukee a horrible city.
We know talk is all he's got. And this is what we've got.
Philly Tough is different. They insult us.
Bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things.
They don't like us. We don't care. Because here's the thing that people like Donald Trump don't understand. We're Philly. F***ing Philly. And when you fight us, we fight back. From 1776 to 4th and 26th. So go ahead. Talk whatever you want, Donald. We're voting soon. And when it comes to freedom, Philly's undefeated.